Thank you for watching our Direct Systems tutorials. Today's tutorial is how to add a user. So you will need to have your IBSSetup icon, which looks very much like this. And then you will also need to have your master ID, which you will enter in this field. The rest of this will already be populated when you double-click on the IBSSetup icon. So once you enter your master ID, if you don't have either your setup icon or your master ID, please contact us, our support team, because we'll be able to install this if you are either the owner or the operator for the company, or if we've been given permission by the owner or the operator to do so. Anyway, so once you've done that, click on OK. Then you will see a screen like this. And you want to click on Setup Functions. And the first thing you'll want to do is to create that username. So choose Username File. And here you can see a list of the current active users. Now these take up your activated users in the system. You will have a license number down here in the bottom in the middle, and you'll also have activated. And so once your activated matches your license, you'll have to delete a user in order to add a new user. But here we've got room today, so we're going to go ahead and click on Insert to add the new user. First you want to put in a 6-letter user ID. So we're going to call this Test ID. And it's Test ID. The sort locator will automatically populate, and if you wanted to make that different the way it shows in your system, then you just click on the little rotate icons to change the way it looks. You don't have to fill in the phone number, cell phone, email address. These are not actually used in the program, but they are here in case you wanted to fill them in as a record. Then you click on Add, and now we have Test ID ready to go for the next step. So you have your new user, but your new user does not have permissions yet to use the program. So we need to close out of that screen and go to Setup Functions, Passwords, Passwords All Modules. Choose the company that you want them to have permissions in, because it does not give permissions across all of the companies. It's very specific. Select that, and then you have two options here. You could either insert or you can clone password from an existing user. If you have an existing user that has the same permissions or very close permissions to what you want this person to have, then the easiest thing to do is to click on that person that you want them to have the permissions of. So today I'm going to click on myself, Heather, and I'm going to choose Clone Password. This next screen that comes up, it basically lists all of the modules that this person has access to, and you have the option of removing certain modules, and that would remove them from that entire module, but leave all of the rest of the modules the same permissions as the current person at the top here. Then you would go, if you don't need to make any changes, or if you did make changes, you would go down to the new user line, and from the little magnifying glass in the corner here, click on that, and then you have all of the different users that you could choose from. Choose your new person, and then set their password. We suggest something that is 6 digits long. I'm just going to use something very easy. It could even be shorter than 6 digits, and so in this case I'm just going to type in IBS. And then the next step is to add new password to the modules listed above, the little plus sign down below. Voila! That person now has access with their 6-digit username that we saw or entered originally. You can also double check that here. Oh, I'm the wrong person. So let's go back to the test ID. There we go. Highlight the name first. Then click on Edit. You can see their user ID, test ID there, and then their password, IBS. And that will be consistent throughout the program and all of the modules, unless you should choose to change that, which you can do within this section here. So that is the easy way to add that person. We're also going to go through a little bit more complicated way of doing that. And so we're going to actually just delete this at the moment so that we can go ahead and show you from scratch. So we're going to act like we've just added the new username, and we're coming over here from, we came in from setup functions, passwords, all modules to get, and then chose the company to get to this screen. We're going to insert, we're going to type in that user ID, which it then recognizes. Then we enter their password, and here we can choose all of the things that they have the ability to do. If we want them to have access to customer service dispatch only, then that's what we'll do right here. Then we click on Add, and then all of the things that you would want them to do within that module, you can either select all permissions or unselect all permissions. This way you can at least make it easier from going through the lots of tabs here of lots of different choices to be able to do things there. So in this case, we're just going to select all and then save. And then it brings you into more permissions that are more detailed within the module. And in this case, we're going to go ahead and select all permissions again. And what we do want to do is get rid of permission 57 and permission 10, because they actually restrict the login. And so this is the only module where this happens. But 10 and 57 need to be unticked so that they don't have view only of the load board and of the company jobs. So then you click Save again, and then you can choose if they're a move coordinator, billing coordinator, dispatcher, quality assurance, post-job follow-up. A lot of times these people will be move coordinators or billing coordinators. So you'll probably want to highlight one of those and then click Save. And now it's just reviewing what you've already done. And there we go. You now have a new person in your IBS setup. Hopefully this has been helpful, and please let us know of any other videos that you'd like us to do, and we'll make sure to get them done. Thank you. Have a lovely day.